Welcome to the Black Man Lab AfterFlow Session 3 with these brothers who were on the panel. Brother G has been consistently coming and vibing, an artist, and so we just want to talk, man. We're really trying to let the rest of the world know what's happening here on this little corner in Southwest Atlanta. You from here? Give whatever history you comfortable giving to the world, and what your experience was tonight.
Yeah. So basically, first I appreciate you for doing this, man.
No doubt,
so when
bro.
I grew up, man, I jumped out in the streets earlier, and we always looked up to the dope boys. So I always found myself down the street hanging with the dope boys. That's what I aspired to be, because we ain't see brothers who was attorneys and doing big things. So all we knew was successful was the dope boys. That's all we wanted to do, or go hoop once we got to that point. So what you're doing here, man, is bringing so many powerful brothers into one room, and now you can aspire to do different things. And not only can you aspire, but you're bringing these brothers within access. So we can go and ask questions. We can get the blueprint. We can get the books we need to read. We can get the resources. So it's a beautiful thing. So I had to find the hard route. I jumped out in the street, started selling drugs, went to jail over and over and over again, having kids. So I went the long scenic route. So now you're kind of giving people the
shortcut.
The shortcut.
The shortcut. Move it up a little bit. So that shortcut that you're experiencing now, that you're trying to give, what was the reception like? Did some of the young brothers in the space, did they come holler at you? Did you talk to some of the young brothers afterwards? What was that vibe?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some of the young brothers and some of the older brothers came and chopped it up. We chopped it up, and because when you're open to it, you can get access to it. You kind of walk up, we start the conversation, and now it's about just giving access to the resource, because you really like one or two conversations from whatever it is that you need. So 100%. I even got to network with some brothers from learning and coming, multiple times. So it's a beautiful thing, man.
Man, we appreciate you. And part of the thing that I guess gets me is brothers' willingness to be honest. Right? We're not coming in here like I'm this, I'm that. I was this, now I'm becoming this, and that's the piece that's important, and I'm vibing and feeling. Brother, you have a national organization that focuses on fathers and men. What was your takeaway from tonight? First time in the space, but one of the givers, right?
For me, I am a Million Man March baby. And I remember what that felt, being on the mall with over 1 million black men on the mall.
Yeah.
And that sober feeling of we finally arrived. Like there was power in the space. And I think since then, many of us have been trying to find that nexus again. Yeah. Like, how do we get back to that feeling? And tonight at the Black Lab, what I felt was that feeling reincarnated. That the power in the room of black men coming together under one accord is a powerful, powerful thing. It's why people who don't look like us are so afraid of us. It's not about who we are today. It's about the potential that we can become.
Come on, man.
And no one wants to see us come together in a room under the banner of love, respect, and appreciation, and then inspiration on top of that.
Right.
So to be in a room and be inspired by people who have struggled,
yes, sir,
right?
Yes, sir.
Have overcome,
have
fallen and gotten up, sharing stories that I get to say, man, this brother come from the same place I come from. I thought I was alone, right? There is someone else who's experienced this.
Yes, sir.
And so I appreciate and really want to give you kudos for creating a space that can bring that feeling together again for black men. This is just the beginning, brother. Get ready for a floodgate of this particular type of environment to spread across the country.
Yeah.
Man, imagine what this would be like if this happened on every HBCU campus in the country.
Come on, bro. What we want brothers that are watching or listening to this to do it collectively. Yeah. Right? Because it's one thing to read a book alone, and we talked about that, but to read it and talk about it in a study group, so that I can see what it meant to you, your interpretation, how it reverberated in your spirit. And you know what I mean? That's how we build. Wow. You know what I mean? And so the idea is that everything that we're doing now to get it out there. Let brothers say, all right, at 6:30 we're gonna get together in the dorm room or in the lounge, and we ain't gonna play spades or beer whist. We gonna cipher with the Black Man Lab, you know. So, G, what's up, brother? One of our artists in the building. Talk about your experience. You've been consistently coming. I guess since the first time. I don't know if you've missed since the first time.
I was invited, and I came about the second or third session. I've been coming ever since.
Yeah. Why, man?
Well, to be in a room with other black men that it's all about positivity, it's all about moving forward. It's refreshing because you go out into the world and you're constantly in a room with others that don't have the same mindset that you have or don't share the same energy that you have, and it really can be a battle and you feel like you're all alone sometimes. But to come into this room, in this space, in this safe space, to talk candidly with other men about whatever's going on in life, it's a good feeling and it's good energy. So I keep coming back.
And man, what's deep is that this is the most I've heard you talk. All of the sessions put together, man, and you just like are there vibing, and I see it, and I feel your spirit, and I feel your energy, and I think there's something to be said about presence and consistency. You came through, and you weren't on the panel initially, right? Mm-hmm. What's the difference from starting and just being in the audience? What was different for you sitting on the stage and sharing your everything you've gone through?
Yeah, so the biggest thing for me, man, is like I believe in process. So when I came, I was like, my biggest thing was like, okay, how can I serve? I'm loving what these brothers are doing. What can I bring to the table? So when Keith hit me last week and was like, hey, we want you to do the panel, I'm like, all right, bet. Because I wanted to figure out how can I serve, even if it's just networking, even if it's just putting the chairs up. I love the vision. So to be a part of that is really, really powerful. And the cool thing is, like, even when I was on the panel, sitting next to brothers like Brother Braswell and the other brothers, I felt the energy because there was so much greatness around me. So you saw I was short in my talking because I wanted to suck it in. I wanted to soak up as much as possible, give as much, and then see what I can learn from these brothers as well. So it's very powerful.
And it's hard to say no to Keith from I'm a Father first,
100%,
right?
100%.
Keith is that dude that when he says, hey, man, can you come through? Right. He's looking at you. It's all from the heart. You like, all right, bro, I'm there.
100%. 100%.
So that's the kind of brothers that I think, again, it's a collective effort. I just want to, reiterate that there are so many brothers that are doing things, some picking up the pizza, putting away the chairs, that just said, I just want to help create space, a safe and sacred space for black men. And so it's the collective effort. Brother, you have been doing this fatherhood work for years now. Mm-hmm. What is it that you think can come out of this space to help brothers become better fathers?
Definition. How we define ourselves, how we define our situations. I hear this term, and I've evolved over time. Like, I used to use terms that don't resonate with me anymore as it relates to who I am. For the last 5 years, I've gone to Africa. Last year, we built a 20,000 square foot library in Ghana for a village to increase the level of literacy in those villages so I understand extended me.
You got to tell me where it is. Me and my man Miguel and our families, we're going to Ghana in December. So tell us so we can bring some books.
Yes, absolutely.
From here, and man, you just gave us a mission. Mm-hmm. Thank you, bro. Go ahead.
So 2 things I learned in the past 5 years when I was visiting Africa. One is that Africans don't measure themselves up against anybody else. Like here in the U.S., we always measuring ourselves up against other people, and not even the best of other people, right? We just measuring ourselves up against the best. The only thing that Africans measure themselves up against is their own expectations of themselves. And so if they're not meeting their expectations, that's the only lever that they look at with respect to how well they're doing in life. And so I've internalized that now that I'm here, that I am the measurer of my own goals. I set my own expectations for my family, for my children. The second thing I realized when I was over there is that this whole notion and term African Americans, like I've released this term African Americans. You know why? Because we're Africans in America.
Yes, sir.
When you say that I am an African in America, that brings everybody together because we all came from one place, and I don't have to describe or define myself by definitions that say something else about me.
I see.
And so for me, definitions and how we begin to define ourselves as black men and how we look at ourselves and how we engage with our women and our children is extremely important for us.
That's strong, brother. You're talking Pan-Africanism now. African people all over the world. Don't call yourself Haitian. Don't call yourself Jamaican. Call yourself African.
Absolutely.
And then we can connect. And I know some folks are like, oh, man, they done lost their mind. But if you come to the Black Man Lab, you'll find your mind. For real, for real. G, we're going to let you close it out, brother. Your consistency are you a father? Are you a son? Are you a brother? What?
I'm a son. I'm a brother.
Yeah.
I have 4 siblings.
Okay.
1 brother and 3 sisters. I am a son to a wonderful father and mother. But I really want to touch on what we talked about tonight, which is legacy.
Yes, sir.
Which was a reinforcement of what my father and grandfather passed down to me. My grandfather, not only did he receive land from his father, and that was passed down to him and his siblings, but he was the only one that took advantage of it.
Wow. Where at?
In Jamaica.
In Jamaica. There it is.
So he built his own economy with what was passed down to him when others scoffed at it.
Yeah.
So it's not only to leave something for your children, but to give them the education and to tap into their mindset so that when they have something, they do something with it. Because you see a lot of people that may receive something and in a few years it's gone.
It's gone, man.
Because they haven't had the training or the attitude, the energy hasn't been passed down to them. So that's something very important to me. And the consistency that you spoke of is something I learned from my grandfather and my father, being entrepreneurs, that there's no way you can stop. You know, you have to keep going in order to survive.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, y'all heard it, man. These brothers, we just appreciate you, brothers, man. We appreciate your energy, your spirit, your knowledge and wisdom, because we know that we have to share with each other and that we really are the answer to every situation we have. So thank you for coming to the Black Man Lab AfterFlow. We look forward to seeing everybody every Monday at 6:30 at the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA in Southwest Atlanta. Appreciate you, brothers.
Appreciate you.